What's up, tribe? Happy Monday to you guys. Whew, honey, let's get into the things of the things of the things. Let's get into this Martha's Vineyard. So, this is going to be your review for Martha's Vineyard, Season 2, Episode 3. Y'all, if I didn't have to go to work this morning, I probably would have brought y'all this review last night because I was a little heated after the episode. And let me tell you why I was a little heated after the episode. Bravo! We're not doing this. We're not doing this, Bravo. What I'm not going to spend this summer doing is continuing to argue over that I thought we had resolved. Now, let's get into this episode. We start this episode off with Nick feeling some kind of way about what was said, that he's a little too handsy when he gets to drinking. Now, let me say something. I can appreciate that Nick heard what his friends told him and Nick addressed it. You could tell that he was really bothered by it. You could tell that it really upset him. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think these ladies are more concerned about how they feel Nick should be treating his girlfriend more so than what Nick is or isn't doing. Because here's the thing. Y'all hang out with him in real life. Like, we have established that you guys have kept in touch in some cliquish way throughout the off season. Y'all went to Jamaica together. Y'all was flying coast to coast to visit each other. Y'all was clubbing. Y'all were going to events. So the reality of the situation is y'all are around each other in different settings when there isn't a camera around. And I just feel like if this is who Nick is and it makes y'all feel and it makes you feel and it makes you sensitive about the situation or what have you, then I don't understand why now we're having this conversation. I found it interesting that when production said, do you think that it's respectful with him having a girlfriend? I found it interesting that was everybody's response was, no, I don't think it's respectful with him having a girlfriend. So is it really that y'all feel like Nick is too handsy with y'all? Or do y'all feel like Nick is disrespecting his girlfriend? And to that, I say, that's not y'all business. Because here's the reality. Nick is with the same person that he was with last summer. And I said this in my review last week. She saw how he acted last summer. Nick ain't doing nothing different this summer than he did last summer. Clearly, she all right with it. Clearly, she is okay with him being handsy. Clearly, she is okay with him, watching the girls and the twerkathons. So, but I can appreciate that Nick went and talked to the ladies. Like, that I felt was very respectful for him to do. I think he was still confused. I don't think he got any more clarity after the conversation, but at least he went and had the conversation. Let me say this before I finish the review. I meant to start the review here, but I kind of just jumped right on in. Let me say this. I don't in any way, shape, or form want, I was going to go down the road last week with the review last week, and I was going to share my thoughts on the alopecia situation with Jordan. I backed up out of it because I didn't feel like I was going to be able to articulate how I was feeling, and I didn't want to offend anybody, and I didn't want anyone to feel like I was not taking Jordan's experience seriously. And that is why I chose not to speak on it, and that's why I did not go any deeper into it. With that being said, I hope no one took it that way. I understand that Jordan's situation is very real and it's very valid. And I know that alopecia is a real thing. Okay. So with that being said, I'm moving on. Okay. I have a friend, he's married and is very affectionate with everyone. Some people are just like that. Yeah. And my thing is, you know who you're with. Like, first of all, and again, I can't tell somebody else their experience. But based on what they have showed us on camera, I don't see where Nick is being offensive. If I were his girlfriend, I wouldn't be offended by nothing he's doing. I told y'all last week, I'm not mad at Nick for looking, because damn it, y'all know he got a girlfriend, so y'all twerking in front of him and getting naked and all of that. Like, what he supposed to do? He's supposed to leave the room every time y'all decide to take y'all shirt off, or y'all decide to twerk, or y'all decide to put a thought. Like, that's what he's supposed to do? Okay. I don't feel that way. And I'm not that girlfriend. So, if they don't want him and she isn't worried, they can't be more worried than she is. It's not like we don't know she has a boyfriend, a girlfriend, child. I don't see it either. I see those women throwing their asses and breasts in his face, though. Right. That's all I'm saying. But neither here nor there, child. Moving on. I said it last week. I ain't gonna keep going down that road. I mean, well, I will if it keep coming up, but I said it last week. We gonna move on. Then we see Shanise go and talk to her mama. Now listen. Here's my problem with the Shanise and her mama situation. I'm all for you and your mama being friends. I'm all for you being grown and you and your mama talk like that to each other. Who am I to tell somebody what their relationship with their mama should be? Listen, I can't tell you. But here's my issue. My issue is when people take sides in this situation. Shanise and Summer are going to be friends tomorrow, right? They're going to make up. They're going to move on. They're going to move on from this whatever situation that they have, right? But you calling that girl a bitch and all that other stuff, that is going to be the kind of thing that when they watch it in the replay, now you've started a whole situation. And now if I was Summer, I'd be like, well, damn, mama, I'm a bitch? For real? Like, I'm all here for you defending your daughter. Like, I'm here for that. But let's be clear. Like, I didn't think it warranted Shanice's mother's response. And again, not in a sense, I'm not sitting here acting like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's a horrible person. I don't think it's that deep either. But I was just like, those are the kinds of things that in the replay, unless Shanise and Summer have the conversation and she be like, girl, you know my mama got you, right? I mean, unless they have that sort of conversation, I can easily see where it could cause a whole nother situation, right? I could easily see that. Hey, cross country cruiser. Hey, everybody coming in, Cajun Powerful Des. Hey, little baby. Hey, boo. Also, again, I already said my piece about this whole situation with Shanise and her job situation or whatever. Child, whatever, girl. Moving on. So the party that night, it was Shanice's party. It was a neon party. And I'm going to be honest. I think it's a cute party. I thought it was first of all, can I give a shout out to everybody on this show? I'm going to give a shout out to you guys because, baby, I know it was cold outside. It had been raining all day. It's already the fall. I know it was cold. And y'all was troopers, okay? Y'all went out there. Y'all sat in that hot tub. Y'all got on the slip and slide. Y'all even played the relay drink party. Like, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all credit, okay? Because I know it was cold. Like, you could tell they were cold. But they hung in there, they did it, they had a good time, okay? I'm not even gonna mention Shanise getting naked. Because again, I mean, if that's how you want to present yourself on television, and your mama encouraged it. Your mama was fine with it. Your mama was like, yeah, okay, girl. So clearly your mama cool with it. You cool with it. And then Bria talking about something. I like naked Shanise. I mean, I didn't like it last year, but she was in front of my man. But I mean, it's fun. So once again, it's cool until it's you. Because Nicholas got a woman. Amir got a woman. So it was cool this year because she wasn't doing it in front of your man. But there are 2 other men in the house who have girlfriends that, in my opinion, is being that she's being disrespectful to. So again, it's cool until it's you. But okay. Yes, Nick is expected to run in the other room when Shanise strips. Right. Okay. That's why I don't understand her crying when they say she was the worst dressed. Man, you ain't even got no clothes. Right. That's why I didn't understand it either. And even later on, we'll get to that later on in the episode. But even later on in the episode where she was just like, it was the way she said it. Girl, how did she say it? First of all, you weren't even in the room when she said it. So you don't know how she said it. I mean, unless production played it back for you. You don't know how she said it because you weren't even in the room when she said it. You had to ask them to repeat it because you didn't hear it. Then Shanice's friend shows up. Noel was flirting with him, and I mean, he was a nice looking little piece of eye candy. Noel was flirting with him, and I thought it was really shady and interesting how they kept showing Alex the whole time. Child, Alex didn't care. Alex did not care. I thought it was really interesting that y'all were trying to make that a thing when it wasn't a thing. Because Alex did not care. So then, I'm sorry. Hold on. Pat? Yeah. Oh, okay. So then, right, Alex didn't care, child. So then, the party was over and they all went back in the house and got dressed. And some of them actually went out partying that night while, I think it was, who stayed? Jordan, Preston, and Jasmine, I think. I low-key think Alex is in a relationship. Let me say this. I wouldn't be surprised to find out if Alex was in a relationship. But I also think that Alex would have been cool with smashing Noel, but I don't think he was interested in a relationship. You know what I mean? I just think Alex is just like whatever. Like, I don't think there was any interest from Alex in any way, shape, or form in that way. Oh, excuse me, y'all. So then we see where there's a conversation that is that the next morning. Hold on, let me make sure I'm in the right order, child. What did Tasha say about Lawrence? Tasha who? Who is Tasha and Lawrence? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Harold. Yeah, I think he's just right. I think he's just in his F-boy era. I think he's just cool with not being in a real relationship and doing like I don't think there's anything deeper than that. That's just my opinion. I don't think there's anything deeper than that. Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's the next day. Everybody's getting dressed, yada yada yada. And we see Jasmine and Shanise talking. And here's where Shanise is having a conversation where Tasha and Lawrence insecure HBO. Oh, okay. I was like, what are we talking about? All right. Alex just doesn't give me anything special with that fake act he puts on. He's no Amir. I mean, me personally, I find Alex more attractive than Amir. I don't find anything attractive about Amir at all. But that's just me. And this is where Shanise was just like, Well, it wasn't what she was saying. It's just the way she said it. Girl, again, you don't even know how she said it. So here we are bringing up something from last episode because I really thought that Summer and Shanise had talked it out and hugged it out. I thought they had moved on. I didn't know we were still here. I didn't know we were still having an issue with what Summer said. And what I'm not going to do is sit here and stretch out what Summer said the whole season. Like, I'm not doing that. Because I feel like y'all already dragging it. Okay. The one thing that I like about this season that seems to be a little different from last season is I like the fact that they're allowing people to do different things. Like, I feel like last season, if somebody didn't want to go to the club, it would have been a whole conversation about, why aren't you going to the club? We're all going. You sure you don't want to go? Oh, come on, just go. Just have a good time. And I feel like this year they're doing a better job of, okay, some of us are going to go to the gym and work out. Some of us are going to go to brunch. Some of us are going to go to the club, and some of us are going to stay home. Some of us are going to go to the grocery store, and some of us will stay back at the house. Like, I feel like they're doing a better job of that this season than last season. Because last season, I felt like, I mean, there were times when it was like the guys would go and do one thing, and then the girls would go and do one thing in Preston. But I just feel like they're doing a better job this, because I think that's more realistic to groups when you have group vacations, like everything doesn't have to be an all inclusive. Everybody has to go. You know what I mean? Right. All they would do is get drunk and twerk. Right. So we had a group that went to the grocery store, and that's where Noel was talking to Preston, Amir, and Bria about she's kind of liking Alex, but she's not really sure because of the whole Alex and Summer situation. And baby Preston told her, don't worry about that. Like, Summer ain't tripping. Like, Summer ain't even tripping. Don't you worry about it. Summer ain't worried about it, right? Back at the house is where the shit starts for me. Okay, the rest of these other little storylines, I don't even be tripping over. But here is where it starts for me. Jasmine is talking to Jordan. Who else was back at the house? Jordan. Who was she? Jordan and Summer, I think. I think it was Jordan and Summer, maybe Shanise. I don't know. But I think it was Jordan and Summer she was talking to, and she was saying how her and Mariah, remember Mariah's the one that got into it with Bria last season about the clothes and the dog, and okay. She said, I talked to Mariah, me and Mariah had to have a very serious conversation about, what happened last season. Even though I didn't want to send her home, I had to send her home because that is what the group decided. But we had a really serious conversation about it. And, I would love for her to come out and hang out for the weekend, right? Jasmine was like, sure, don't have a problem with it. Summer was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I think that's great. Then they had a conversation about Phil. Now, if y'all remember, Phil is the one that came in with a whole lot of extra energy. He was the one that was trying to claim, the room that Nick was in. So, he did the number 2 in Nick's bathroom. That's when he was cussing out everybody. And he made some borderline. No, they weren't borderline. He made some inappropriate, borderline homophobic comments to Preston. It was Phil was just nasty, and nasty again. So they basically were like, no to Phil, yes to Mariah. But in all fairness, we have to have a conversation with the group about it, right? We have to have a group conversation. So they get back to the house, and Jasmine calls a house meeting, right? Everybody gets back to the house, and Jasmine calls it a house meeting. Which, of course, everybody was like, oh, my gosh, we got to have a house meeting. Oh, my gosh. So, before we get there, we see where Noel bought Alex a sandwich back from the grocery store. And I don't understand. So, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Sometimes I think people decide that they don't like somebody, and so it doesn't matter what they do. So Noel bought Alex a sandwich. It was a sandwich that Alex didn't particularly care for. He was like, "Oh, I really don't do tofu, but thanks a lot. I appreciate it." And he ate the damn sandwich. People were like, "Oh, that was so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. Phil is such a," I said Phil. Alex is so disrespectful. All he had to say, "Oh my gosh, he could have just took it. Why did he have to be rude about it?" Oh my God. I don't feel like he was rude, because here's the thing. If he don't really like tofu, the last thing he needs is for Noel to keep bringing him sandwiches with tofu on it, because she brought it to him the first time and she thought he liked it. I feel like he handled it the way I probably would have handled it. If somebody was nice enough to buy me something, I would have been like, "Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not really crazy about roast beef. It's not my favorite, but I appreciate that." Because if we're getting to know each other and we're building, even if they were only going to build a friendship, you kind of need to know what I like and what I don't like. I could see if he was like, "Oh, why'd you bring me this?" Or, "Oh my gosh, I don't do tofu." Like, I feel like he handled it in a, like, I just feel like sometimes people decide they just don't like somebody and it just doesn't matter. I don't think, I keep saying Phil. Y'all know I mean Alex. I just don't think Alex can win with these women because they've decided that he's an F-boy, which, let's be clear, he probably is. But I just feel like he can't win. So anyway, we get ready to have, we round everybody up for this house meeting. And Jasmine brings up Mariah and says, "Hey, I would love for Mariah to come. Hey, boo, side note, Bria needs a good love tap." You know what, Quake? I ain't disagreeing with that either. Right. Why didn't she text him? Like, here's the thing. Listen. What the hell is that noise? Y'all hear that noise? It sounded like it was like ducks or something. Anyway. My love language is gifts, right? I'm a giver. I am the kind of person that if I'm out and I see something you like, I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, Ebby would love this." And like, ask Ebby. And I'm not saying this because I'm not saying this, but ask Ebby. Like, usually when I see her, I'll be like, "Oh, girl, here's this." I still got stuff that I be forgetting to give Ebby. Not because I'm rich, but that is my love language, right? My love language is I'm a giver. I'm a gifter, right? That is what I do. So I can understand when I like somebody, those are the kinds of things that I do to let somebody know that I like them. If I was on a group trip and there was a guy on the group trip that I was sort of feeling and we were at the grocery store, I would be like, "Oh, you know what? I noticed the other night that he ate up all of the Pringles. Maybe he likes Pringles. Let me buy him some Pringles." Right? And I know that that's just a silly example, but I could see me doing that, right? I could see me doing that. So I could see her doing that. But like you said, Abby, why not text and be like, "Hey, you want a sandwich? We're picking up sandwiches. I'm going to get you a sandwich. Cool?" Right? Like, I feel like it was that simple, but you can't wait for me to see my birthday gift. I'm excited too, because she's excited to give it to me, so I'm excited to see what it is. But my thing is, don't sit here and be like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know how else y'all wanted him to handle that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know how else y'all want it. Y'all, I got a great shot of the ring. Oh, you did? Oh, post it, Quake, or send it to me on Instagram. I would love to see it. Right, that's what I'm saying, Cajun. A sandwich is a very personal thing, and I'm not even saying that to be funny, but a sandwich is a very personal thing. Like, I just don't think I don't think he handled it wrong. Anyway, I've said it. I'm moving on. So we get to this house meeting. Noel don't know nothing. Okay, so Noel, you don't even have a vote, right? Shanise, you only got a half a vote because you were there 2 days last season, okay? But Noel don't get no votes because you weren't there. You don't know what happened with these people. Girl, you don't get no votes. Shanise, you get a half a vote. Right, Harold. Ask me what I like. It's real simple. It ain't that serious. Right. I just think that's what it was, Jennifer. Jennifer said Noel's still young. Her game ain't strong yet. I just think that's what it was. She fumbled the bag, y'all. Because I felt bad for her later on in this episode. She let them people gas her up and set her up. And she got her ass in trouble. We'll get there in a minute. I really feel like they set her up. Y'all was wrong, but we're going to get there. So they bring up Mariah. And everybody is cool with Mariah coming, right? Everybody is cool with Mariah coming. Except for, well, actually, let me start with Phil. Because they started with Phil. Phil is going to be in Martha's Vineyard with some other friends. He wants to come through. I think the vote is really for Bria since she was the one. I agree, Abby. I honestly agree. I feel like when the Phil conversation came up, I mean, we'll get to Mariah. So when the Phil conversation came up, everybody was like, no, hell to the no. Now, Bria's thing was, Phil isn't even going to stay here. I just wanted to ask if it was cool for him to come through because he's going to already be on Martha's Vineyard with his friends. Now, what I heard Amir say was, listen, if he's your friend and y'all want him to come through, that's cool. I don't have to be here. I'll go somewhere else if he wants to come through. Later on, Jordan was like, no, he can't come here at all. I just want to be clear. I don't want to see him here at all. So the vote was no for Phil, even though Bria and Shanise felt some kind of way because they didn't see what the big deal was and they wanted Phil to come. Preston even said he did not feel safe around Phil. He said it was something about his energy. I don't feel safe. And when they showed that clip last season where Phil was shooting the Nerf gun at Preston and talking about man up, stop being so soft. Like Preston said, as a gay man, I know what those are very coded words that mean something a lot more deep for a gay man than they do for anybody. When they say, oh man up, stop playing so soft. It doesn't mean the same thing for a heterosexual man as it does for a gay man, especially a gay man that is used to being bullied, that has had to deal with those things. Like, it meant something different. And he said he did not feel safe. And for me, that is more important than anything my friends could say to me. If I had a friend that said to me, listen, I don't feel safe around this person, to me, that's the end of the conversation. Like, the conversation needs to not go any further. You told me you don't feel safe around this person. Then that's it. So then we get to the Mariah conversation, and everybody is cool with Mariah coming. So Bria was like, whoa, wait. So we're going to disregard Mariah attacking me, Mariah putting her hands on me. We're going to disregard that. Me and Mariah have had no conversation. Mariah has not, on camera, I don't know what's happened behind the scenes, but on camera, Mariah has not called me to apologize. Mariah has not reached out to me. We haven't fixed what happened last season. So I'm supposed to be cool with Mariah coming, but y'all not cool with Phil coming, and some of the same arguments were used. Oh, Phil hasn't apologized. Phil didn't show any remorse. Phil da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So Bria gets pissed off, and Shanise kind of goes with Bria because both of them want Phil to come. Well, Bria calls Phil, and come to find out, Phil and Mariah are cool. Like, they talk all the time. They're like besties. And come to find out, Jasmine did already bought Mariah's plane ticket even before she talked to the house about it, which leads Bria to feel like, so it really didn't matter what we said, Mariah was coming. Because you didn't already bought the girl a plane ticket. Harold said, thank you, Really B. It's really that simple. So it was confusing to me how folk in the house and online didn't understand where Preston was coming from. It's common sense. He is an extra piece of furniture, so people don't care. Since Preston doesn't fit in, people disregard his feelings. Now he's an extra piece of furniture. I love Preston. I think Preston is a very important part of the story. I think both Mariah and Phil should have the opportunity to apologize and amend their ways, have the conversation. That I agree with, Xavier. And I feel like if that had been the approach, with both of them, I probably wouldn't feel no kind of way. Like, I still don't like Phil, and I still feel like what Phil did. I feel like what Phil. Well, no, I can't. I guess because we had less time to get to know Phil, maybe my feelings towards Phil were more strong than they were towards Mariah. Although I feel like what Mariah did was a lot. And then come to find out it was Amir the whole time. Like, it wasn't even Bria. It was fucking Amir. So, and if anything, Amir owes Mariah some level of an apology because Phil allowed Mariah to take that full hit. That's what I'm saying, Abby. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing that Mariah and Phil, if that was what I'm saying is from a show perspective, from a production perspective, if that is how they were going to bring them back on the show, then I would have been cool with that, right? I still don't like Phil, but if Phil had said, listen, I want to sit down with Preston. I want to sit down with Nick. I want to sit down with Jasmine, sober, and apologize and have the conversation. Right? The fact that we heard Phil on the phone and he was like, man, I don't even remember that, man. I said that. Man, I don't even remember. Sir, it's a year later and the show has aired. So the fact that you still sitting here acting like, I don't even remember saying that. I don't even remember saying that. Sir, that was a whole year ago. And like I said, the episodes aired. So regardless of whether you remember saying it or not, you know you said it. You saw yourself on camera doing it. Same thing with Mariah. I agree, Abby. Same thing with Mariah. You know, it's a television show. So we see it all the time with these television shows. So if it was going to be a situation where, if it was going to be a situation where it's like, oh, well, we're going to wait to film it and we're going to show the apology and all of that. Again, it's a television show. So I'm fine with that. But the fact that it looks like neither one of these people took the initiative to reach out to anybody, because even Jasmine said that she was the one reaching out to Mariah and Mariah wasn't responding to her. And she had to basically FaceTime her and be like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm trying to reach out to you. I'm trying to get us back on track. The fact that she had to reach out to Mariah. So in my mind, honestly, I don't feel like either one of them need to come back into the house without some conversations and some apologies. And the fact that Jasmine really only asked them as a courtesy, not because she really felt like she owed it to them to ask them, that I have a problem with. That I have a really, really big problem with, right? Jordan, Bria, and Summer all act the same, spoiled and entitled. I think all of them act that way. I think Jasmine, Jordan, Bria, Summer, Shanise. I haven't seen the entitlement from Noel, but I definitely feel like she's like a spoiled Southern belle. I feel like all of them act like that. And I don't feel like any of them can see past their own issues. I agree, Harold and Abby both brought up the fact that Bria and Summer got into it last year, and Summer basically attacked Bria last year, and she was able to come back. I think the difference is, number one, the difference was they sat down and they talked it out the very next day once they all fucking sobered up. Number two, it happened like the next to last day of the season, so Summer didn't get sent home. Number three, Summer and Bria are friends outside of the show, and they were able to, I guess, make amends for it. And number four, she got hired to be on the show. But from a viewer's perspective, I understand y'all point. From a viewer's perspective, I understand that point. Right, they just kicked Mariah out. They didn't, like, nobody wanted to even talk to Mariah. Like, Bria didn't even want to talk to Mariah. It was like, no, she just got to go. So yeah. But I think that's the difference. But I'm going to be honest with you, had the altercation with Summer happened earlier in the season, I think they probably would have sent Summer home too, and it might have been a different conversation. But I think because that literally happened the night before they were leaving, and they were able to sit down and talk, I think that might be the difference. But yeah, nah, Xavier, not in this case. When you bring in someone who attacked me into where I gotta rest my head, that's not okay. Y'all know what? Never mind, my ADHD just kicked in, and I was going to say something that didn't have nothing to do. I mean, nothing to do with this conversation. Okay. Moving on. Oh my gosh. Woo. Okay, let me get back to this. Mariah only reciprocated what Bria was giving her. The situation could have been handled better, and Amir admitted to messing with the clothes. And if Bria hadn't gone from 0 to 100, again, I think that whole situation could have been handled better. I do. I think alcohol was definitely a factor, and Bria being a brat was a factor. I think Mariah, but I also feel like I don't want to go back to last season because I feel like I covered this last season. But let me say this. Number one, people with dogs really be acting like the world thinks about their dogs the way they think about their dogs. That's number one. People with dogs, y'all hear the ice cream truck? At least it ain't playing. Was it playing Christmas music? Because it be playing Christmas music. Was it playing Christmas? I tuned it out. I wasn't even. I heard it, but I really wasn't paying attention. So they all go out to eat that night. They go out to the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about that situation. Amir absolutely should have. Like, that's why there's nothing attractive about Amir. See, once I no longer have respect for you, I just can't look at you the same way. So I don't care how much body he has. I don't care about none of that. When he sat there and let them two women argue over something he did, and at no point in time did he interject and say, yo, you guys, that was me. My bad. That was me. That I just can't respect that. I can't respect that because we too grown for that. Like, I'm sorry. I can't respect that. Is this the month to buy the grass seed? What grass seed? Girl, we neighbors. The ice cream truck was here 5 minutes ago. It was the same ice cream truck, Melly. Melly, you gotta hit me up on Instagram and tell me where you live, girl. We probably neighbors. Amir stood up when he got ready to bust Phil's R stuff. Even that I felt was performative. Because you knew production wasn't going to really let you get to him. You know what I'm saying? I felt like you was putting on. I felt like that was a whole, go sit down. Because my thing was, you wasn't man enough to interject between two women arguing over something that you fucking did. I don't care nothing about you and Phil. This damn camera. I get being upset at the towels being with the dog toys, but I think just telling her, like, girl, no one would have been fine. I would have just rewashed the towels and sanitized them. So okay, y'all, I'm sorry. I heard the ice cream truck and then I went left. Let me say this. This is my attitude about the situation. Like I said, people who have pets really don't understand that people who don't have pets don't see shit the way you see shit. In Bria's mind, we know Amir was the one that did it. But let's go back to if it had been Bria. In Bria's mind, she may not have felt it was no problem because Y'all see how she be bringing Milo every day with? Hell, they had Milo out in the rain. Did y'all see Milo ass out in that damn rain? Why was Milo at the damn neon party in the pool in the rain? See, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Why was Milo out in the rain? So that's number one. But number two, again, Mariah, when you are sharing a space with 10 other people, shit gonna happen. I mean, maybe she never lived in a dorm. I don't know. Because let me tell you something. Let it take you too long to come and change your clothes down to the dorm washing machine and dryer. Your shit will be sitting wherever they put it when it's time for them to wash their clothes. Not listen, at this point, Milo is the best part of the show. Let him live his best life. Ciao. Anyway. So everybody goes out to eat that night, and you know, they eating good, drinking good. Alex said the tab is on me. I said, okay, girl. Right, Ms. Akira Monet. Exactly. Like, what's the difference between, I mean, y'all sit on the damn kitchen table like that ain't where y'all cook y'all food and eat. Like, anyway. Moving on. Damn, like, what have you tussling? Melly, you still in here, Melly? Melly, you still in the chat? I'm going to ask you a question, and that'll tell me something. I'm going to ask you a question in a second. Melly, if you still here, drop down. I want to ask you a question. How far do you live from a Safeway? That'll tell me how far you live from me. How far do you live from a Safeway? Let me see how far you live from me. Okay, so I love Milo. Yes, when they had Milo sitting on that chair for that green screen, now that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Oh, okay. Now you mad at the dog on the corner, but your butt you've been all on the Abby. I think he was typing really fast. So moving on. Badussy. Oh, okay. I was like, but at what? Badussy. Listen, moving on. 2.5 miles. I'm closer to Giant. Okay, so you're a little bit further away from me. But yeah, he probably was in your neighborhood and just slid on down to mine. Okay, I know where you. I mean, I know. We right there. Okay, I'm closer to the Safeway than the Giant, but I used to shop at the Giant all the time, so it's right there. It's not too far from me. Okay. So while they're there, Bria decides that she's going to talk to Jasmine about Mariah coming to the house. And she asked Jasmine when was the ticket booked. And Jasmine said the ticket was booked last night. But I mean, if y'all had said no, I mean, I could have just canceled the ticket. It's not a big deal. But the fact that you bought the ticket before you talked to us, girl, unless it was like, I caught that Southwest got to get away $29.99 round trip deal. Girl, you could have waited the 5 hours that it took you to ask them. Like, you didn't have to buy that ticket that night. You know what I'm saying? Especially since I'm sure production paid for the ticket. Okay. But you did not have to buy that ticket. Second of all, Jasmine is clearly pregnant in her confessional, because y'all know they do the confessionals after the season. Y'all can see she is clearly pregnant in her confessional. Like, you can just see how far along she's come. Because Phil wasn't coming to the difference between Phil having his ticket is that Phil is staying with other friends who are on the Vineyard. Phil isn't staying at the house with them. So Phil having his ticket to come has nothing to do with them. Allegedly, that's the story that they're telling, right? That's the story that they're telling, is that Phil wasn't coming to stay at the house. Mariah is specifically staying at the house for the weekend. So that's the difference. So they got to arguing. Then somehow or another, Summer interjected herself, and then it became the Summer Shanise conversation about her clothes again. And I was like, did y'all see when Nick was sitting there like this? I was Nick, because I was like, Ebby, how did we get here? Because I really felt like we had that whole conversation. Man, that was last week's conversation. We on a whole nother conflict. We are trying to resolve the Mariah Phil plane ticket gate of it all. Okay. I am not understanding. I am confusion while we right now in this moment are entertaining this. Exactly. Alexa, play. How did we get here? Because I am confusion how this became about you and you not having no damn clothes again. Because Shanise, let's be clear. All of us think you are the worst dressed. All of us. Think that you are the worst dressed. First of all, have we even seen her in a real outfit since she got there? Exactly, little baby. Your wardrobe is white girl wasted. You wear thong bikinis and workout clothes. I think the first time we actually saw you in a real outfit was on this night when y'all went to the club. So Bria left. Bria said, I'm over it. I'm tired. I'm sick of it. And I'm moving forward. Okay. I'm sick of this. The rest of them went to the club. Bria went home. Everybody else went to the club. I like Shanise, but the comments are hilarious. So they're down to the club and they see Alex flirting. Noel is in the bathroom with Jasmine and they're like, girl, don't you see Alex over there? Oh my gosh, Alex this and Alex that. You need to go tell him. If you like him, you need to go stake your claim, girl. You need to go stake your claim. Why y'all let that, Noel, why you let them set you up like that? First of all, y'all have only been in that house for 3 days. You have known that man all of 72 hours, maybe 4 days, maybe 4 days. You have known this man less than a week. Even if he was flirting with you and you was flirting with him, you have no standing. That conversation you had with him made no sense. Because and I knew she lost Alex when she started talking about, well, I know I was acting like I was single last night. Girl, you are single. What you mean I was acting like I was single? Girl, you are single. And so is Alex. And I am confused that you thought differently. You and Alex have not, on camera at least, have not shared more than a 2-second conversation. You bought that man a tofu sandwich that he ain't even want, that he ain't asked you for. And then you thought that at the club, you didn't wait till y'all got back home. You thought that in the middle of the club was a time to pull him aside, to have a conversation with him about y'all's non-existent relationship. See, that's how I know these ain't your real friends. Because I'm not even going to make it a age thing. It's not even an age thing, okay? It's not even an age thing because let me tell you something. My friends, even in my my friends in high school wouldn't have let me play myself like that. Do you understand that my friends would have been telling me Girl, if you don't get your ass on the other side of this club and pop, lock, and drop it and have a good time, I ain't saying go over there and twerk in no strange man's face, but if you don't walk around this club and be unbothered, baby, we got a whole island of rich men, rich, educated black men. I wish the hell I would have encouraged my friend to go and have that conversation with one, according to y'all, a F-boy. Two, somebody that literally had sex with another person in the same house. And three, somebody that is clearly flirting with other women in my face. Why would y'all tell her to do that? See, y'all not her friends. Y'all not her friends. I wish I would. First of all, I would have been encouraging my friend to engage in that situation because to me that was messy anyway. Summer is clearly still feeling some kind of way about Alex. I don't care what she say. She is clearly still feeling some kind of way about Alex. Clearly. So I would have never encouraged that conversation. Never. And I damn sure wouldn't have let my friend go out here and look and get her feelings hurt. I wish they not your friends. These women not your friends. Right. And then Alex being honest about the situation. Now they're going to say, they're going to find a way to make this Alex's fault. They're going to find a way to put this back on Alex. And in my opinion, Alex ain't do nothing wrong. Alex did not do nothing wrong. I had secondhand embarrassment for her too. SC, if I could jump through the camera and if I could jump through the camera and grab her neck and pull her back, I would have. Because I saw that thing playing out and I was like, no. Like, I really wish I could have done that. I really wish I could have jumped through the camera. Because there was no reason in the world for that to happen. Nothing. Alex was thinking the same way. No, right. Like, this is messy. I got a whole situation that I haven't even resolved with Summer. Because like I said, I don't care what nobody says. Summer still feels some kind of way. The book smart girls are usually real life dumb. And then I just felt bad for her because I was like, they encouraged that because they should have been telling her, girl, don't worry about what Alex doing. We got this. Girl, there's a whole island full of rich black people. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to keep going out. We're going to get to know some other people. Girl, you cute. The minute this show drop, it's going to be people sliding up in your DMs. Girl, bye. Ain't no way in here. But anyway, that was pretty much the episode, y'all. So I feel like we are going to I feel like we're gonna get Mariah and Phil at some point this season. And we'll see how that plays itself out, honey. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Jordan is some. You know what? The Jordan and Summer argument, I don't even understand. Jordan was saying earlier in the episode how she had to get Summer together before they came down here because Summer be doing too much. Because Summer be doing too much, and she was making out with a guy in front of my apartment building. And I guess she lives in a nice neighborhood because they bleeped out her neighborhood, but it made it seem like she lives in like a nice neighborhood. And she was like, you gotta, people already be looking at me funny. So, I can't be acting crazy. But I didn't understand the argument. Like Preston said, both of them get loud. Both of them got a sharp tongue. Like, I don't even understand the issue. She lives and works on Park Avenue. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even understand the issue. So they're literally sitting out in front of the house having this whole screaming match over absolutely nothing. Because I honestly couldn't tell you what they was arguing about. Right, Jordan kept right. Every time Summer tried to talk, Jordan. I agree. Like, I feel like Jordan was the one that was doing a lot. Like, Summer was trying to have the conversation, and Jordan wouldn't let her talk. And Summer got frustrated. Let's not forget the fact that they had been drinking. I ain't gonna say they was drunk, but they definitely had been drinking. So, like, I just don't understand what the big deal is. Like, I don't understand what they was fighting about. Okay, and like Preston said, they both are loud and got a sharp tongue. So I feel like we sit here arguing over nothing. Oh no, Preston is showed up this summer. Okay, Preston has shown up this summer. Okay. So this is what I was going. I'm about to get off of here, but this is what I was going to say, y'all, before I So y'all know my sister been cooking for me, right? For like the last 2 months, my sister cooks for me. So I have a refrigerator full of food because I'm not eating as much because y'all know I'm doing the other stuff. So I literally have a refrigerator full of food. I mean, I have beef tips. I have chicken. I have salmon. I have salmon cakes. I have meatloaf in there. I have fettuccine and shrimp fettuccine. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that I know I have in there. I have something else, spaghetti, right? That's at least 7 different meals that I just rolled off the top of my head without even thinking about it, right? 7 different meals. I've been freezing it because Quake, I put she made some chicken pot pie a couple of weeks ago and I froze it. That's in the freezer. And I'm getting ready to freeze the Alfredo. I'm getting ready to freeze the Alfredo because I'm about to freeze that. The spaghetti, I think I waited too long. I think I just gotta let the spaghetti go. I think I waited too long on the spaghetti. But everything else is either last week or this week. The only 2 things that are older than last week or this week is that spaghetti. The fettuccine, I think, is from last week. But I'm gonna freeze that. Like I said, I'm literally gonna put that in a freezer bag like today. But the spaghetti, I think I did too much. I mean, I think I let it sit too long. But I'm saying all that to say, y'all know what I got a taste for? With all that food in it that I just gave y'all know what I got a taste for? Why I got a taste for some cereal? Remember I told y'all how every once in a while I'll get a taste for some cereal and I'll buy a box of Frosted Flakes and I'll buy some milk. And I'll probably eat 2 or 3 bowls of cereal and then it's almost like I got to get it. It's like I just get a craving for it. Baby, I got a craving. Like, I literally was sitting here and was like, damn, I'm about to run to the 7-Eleven and just give me a box of cereal and some milk. Because I really don't want to go to the grocery store. I'm not interested in going into the whole grocery store. But the 7-Eleven sell milk and cereal. I just got a taste for it. I had some spaghetti Friday and some salmon cakes last night. I want a lobster roll. Ooh, a lobster roll. Resist. Why? Why I gotta resist? I mean, I don't see what the problem is. I do the same thing and then the cereal just sits. Right. After I ate my 2 or 3 bowls, I'm gonna be done with it. That's why I don't need to go to the grocery store. I don't need to get the whole big ass box of Frosted Flakes. I don't need a whole gallon of milk. I just need a little thing of milk, the little thing of cereal, even though it's gonna cost me more. But all those long names and you're interested in some special K. Now I want some Frosted Flakes. But I mean, I've been eating, like, literally, I told y'all my sister been cooking for me for 2 months. I've literally been eating on it for 2 months. Like it's good food. My sister can cook. And don't get me wrong, she done made some good food. And last night I had, and pork chops. I still got another pork chop in there. Maybe you're pregnant. On that note, good night. Y'all meet me over on the Whether You Like It or Not. Y'all meet me on y'all's channel tonight on the Whether You Like It or Not panel, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace. I've already told y'all, baby, if I pop up pregnant, we all getting rich. Okay? Bye.